Okay, baddies. It's that time again where I bring you into the life of me and Jesus. So, what's happening? Feeling great. It's, what is it? It's like about noonish on Saturday. I did a lot of organizing in my one-bedroom apartment today. Made more room to feel like it's a palace instead of a closet. Thank you, Jesus. Good idea. You got me busy. It wasn't my idea. I really felt the Spirit was moving me to do what I did today. So, very thankful for that. And the reason I say that is I know when it's left up to me, I'm going to be lazy as hell. I'm going to procrastinate as often as I can, especially on the weekend. Who wants to clean? Who wants to organize? Who wants to scrub things down? Not me, but Jesus did. So we had fun today. That was a good experience. And as I was doing that, I was thanking him for some of the metaphors that I'm observing, like cleanliness, right? When we get involved in BS, negative thinking, that's garbage that just needs to be washed out. So we need to be attentive to that and just wash it out. Take authority over that nonsense. Now, having said that, I'm always reminded of the fact that the cross of Calvary, Jesus, historically indisputable. So all you freaking idiots out there who think there's evidence that Jesus never existed and that he's just some mythological creation that was put together by diverse communities, by gathering in archetypes from other resurrected figures. Do your freaking scholarly studying, man. There's no doubt, even among scholars who disagree strongly, who are the highest acclaimed scholars, no matter what perspective, progressive, conservative, whatever, they almost unanimously agree that Jesus existed and was crucified. That's basically indisputable. The disputable part is, who was he? But to say he never existed or was never crucified, you're basically saying, I'm incapable of doing historical study. I'm incapable of gathering centuries of data. I'm incapable of recognizing the effect belief in him has had on millions of lives. I'm incapable of that. Yeah, that's what you're saying, babe. All right. So having said that, what I'm getting at is the cross in Calvary was when everything was completed. He completed God's will. You think Jesus wanted to have 9-inch spikes thrust into his body and to hang there for 6 hours, bleeding to death, pushing up every breath so that his diaphragm had some space to take a breath, and feeling the scrapes of the splinters in the wood and the steel in his body? You think he wanted that to happen for 6 hours? No, he did that because he knew how important it was to create access for us idiots. Yeah, all of us idiots who are so self-absorbed and are so enamored of our own perspectives. He knew it was going to take that to make access to God possible. Now, when he did that, all good gifts for eternity were created and given to every believer. And every foolish thing we ever did that was selfish, some like to call it sin, all of that was forgiven and the power of it was washed away. So you might say, well, if that's the case, how come I'm so inundated with doubt and lack of power, and I have all these circumstances that are impending in my life? Well, it's because you're not actively believing that his sacrificial gift of himself in that setting was as efficacious as it was. So as long as you remind yourself of that, you avail yourself of the power and the mercy that that act provided for every believer, so that the very essence of God, being full of love, peace, wisdom, joy, purpose, motivation, creativity, can reside in you limitlessly. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing today? And I'm growing the beard. I'm not putting makeup on. I'm not dancing. I'm not putting a dress on. Yesterday I did put a boa on when I was streaming my music live on Reddit. Broadcast called Random Jam. I felt it was appropriate to put a boa on because I was playing a song by David Bowie called Queen Bitch. So I thought that was a good time to put the boa on. So yeah, I still have the dresses. I still have the boas. I still have the makeup, skirts. I don't do bras or anything like that. I want people to see the body. Oh yeah, baby. So the reason why I'm keeping all that is because there might be an opportunity for me to go out in public once in a while to promote diversity and to dispel the ignorance of judgment that Jesus came to dispel. Even if it's in a context that's a little outside the box, I'm willing to do that and open to it because it's so much fun. And it's so freeing. But I'm not going to do it unless I feel His Spirit is leading me to do it. Now, having said that, that brings me to another teachable moment for you. And that is something Paul said in the New Testament, that all things might be permissible because of the grace of God and sin has been forgiven. But it doesn't mean it's expedient. And that's the piece I kind of messed up myself for most of my life. I basically said, you know what, screw it. It's too hard not being gay. It's too hard not drinking alcohol. It's too hard not having 6 donuts. It's too hard not watching this porn, whatever. So my sins have already been forgiven, so screw it. I'm going to thank God for the grace I have, and I'm just going to be honest to who I am, and I'm going to believe Him to change me and move me and help me grow as He sees fit. But what ended up happening is I misapplied the word of truth. I didn't rightly divide the word of truth, and I kind of trampled on His good gift to me by preferring permissibility over expediency. So think about that. It might be, you'll be forgiven for however you live. But wouldn't you rather be full of the power of God and have the assurance of His intimacy and working through you as His bride, so that there's really no difference between you and Him? And if you don't believe it, you don't believe His word. Because His word clearly says, greater works will you do, and the fullness of Christ resides within you, and you have the mind of Christ. So yeah, baby, much better to be expedient than in a posture of permission. So there you have it, baby. I'm going to get back to this. You can see rigorous exercise. And I'll talk to you later.